Aprilia has such a magnificent history and pedigree when it comes to the lightweight racing of motorcycles in the 125 and 250 classes, creating so many world champions, picking up so many constructors titles, and it's only appropriate that Aprilia brings out a middleweight superbike and wakes up the opposition with the game-changing Aprilia RS660. Everything about this Aprilia RS660 speaks of lighter, nimbler, smaller, very precise and balanced handling. It looks like a superbike, but also a little bit of a sports tourer. Aprilia has managed to keep the weight down by using exotic materials, thinking of the smallest details. If you think about it, this bike has a lithium battery to save weight. It has light wheels, the light forged wheels, front and rear. To give you an idea, the weight is about 3.5 kilos front, 3.4 at the back. Even the subframe is 16mm narrower than the bigger sibling, and the number plate holder right down to this little trivial part is a split plastic with a carbon core in it, weighing a mere 210 grams. So thought went into everything, even the number plate holder. If you look at the design overall, it is just a small, tight little package. If you look at, they try to retain the iconic Aprilia RSV4 tri-headlight, however, with a more modern spin, the furrowed eyebrow look. Much cleaner, no indicators in the rearview mirrors built in over here. We'll switch it on now. Going down, you'll see it looks as if it's got winglets on the side, and if I show you from the other angle, it's really not like the bigger sibling for downforce. It is merely to remove the hot air away from the engine bay, away from you as the rider. Now, also really stunning cosmetic looks. If you look at the back, it also looks like it has little winglets on the side. Super stunning. The three colors we've covered in a previous episode: the acid gold, this apex black, and the lava red, which is a purple ready orange. We have done the 3 episodes before this one, the one of the official launch in South Africa, the one uncrating the 3 colors, and the third one would be the full review on it of the electronic suite and everything. While we're at it, let's just switch on the TFT and show you the TFT. We'll go for a ride now. Here is your TFT display, very reminiscent of the 2020 RSV4. If you look at the LED rear lights, very unique. When you're following this bike, you will know what bike you're behind. Look at the front with the furrowed eyebrow look. Stunning look, stunning and very individual. Now the motor, just in brief, it is an RS660, so the motor is a 659cc. It is a parallel twin motor, liquid cooled 8-valve, and produces 100 horsepower at 10,500 RPM, 67 Newton meters at 8.5. The bike weighs a mere 169 kilos dry weight, and that with a 15-liter petrol tank gives you 183 kilos wet. 183 wet weight kilos with 100 horsepower is pretty decent specs and power to weight ratio for this bike. Really stunning. And I do think Aprilia with this bike have given notice to the opposition, because back in the day we had the stunning Yamaha R6, the Kawasaki ZX6s, the Fireblade CBR600s. So why have we forgotten about those bikes? These bikes were just as much fun as the bigger liter bikes, and sometimes not as scary, but just as much fun. I think what we're going to do now is just jump on her and just feel what she feels like, and see if all the hype and the rave about this game changer is true. You can really ride this bike for extended periods of time without getting fatigued in any way. Everything is light, works really well. Whether you use the clutch, that lever is not sloppy but really soft. The quick shifter is slick. There's not much effort required on pulling up or down on the lever. It doesn't buck you around, it doesn't scare you, this bike. It's not white knuckle. The seating position is, I would say, more sports touring. Yes, you can tuck in and feel like you want to be on the track, being an enemy to knee sliders, but at the same time you can sit upright like I'm sitting here and just cruise and do a couple of 100 kilometers. I don't think lane splitting is difficult on this bike. It is so light and nimble. Really a fantastic experience, and it sort of reminds us that this horsepower race we're on, yes, it's fun, it's exhilarating, but is it really that practical? This is just as much fun, most probably more efficient and more relaxing to ride, and even less dangerous. So for me, I do think Game Changer is a good title for this bike because it challenges your thinking. Such a light bike, the crosswinds here in the open areas do affect it a little bit, but nothing that scares me. And for me, you know what, we still have to ride those bikes and not let the bikes ride us. So I would say fun, not a turn off in any way. The sound of this exhaust and with the engine is really great. It makes you feel good. The throttle response is great. There is enough power. Nothing shy about this bike. Nothing weak and mild. Really well refined package. Has all your rider aids, all your niceties. I really don't think you need to go to an accessories catalog and start adding bits and pieces to this bike. Full spec, really fantastic. Your Brembo brakes give you good stopping power. 2-finger braking. It's all. This bike is about effortless, and there will be no fatigue as a rider. That I can tell you. On a bike like this, just an awesome experience. Downshift with the auto blip. This bike has everything you would expect from an Italian superbike. It might be the middleweight or the lightweight class, but really it gives you the feel, the look of a full superbike. If you look, my knees are bent, my feet are flat on the ground. The tank is very short. The handlebars not too far away from me. I really don't have to crank over this tank. It is as good as a tourer. Love the sound of it. Smooth. There's no rocking here. The indicators, the rear view mirrors are solid and stable. There's no bouncing around, no vibration. The TFT is clear. You see I'm in dynamic mode, rider mode up here. All the info displayed. Really, what a package. And when you first hear RS660, you think it's the baby brother. The only thing that's really different from this RS660 to the RSV4 is pretty much the mix of power to weight ratio. Yes, it's lighter, yes, it's down on power, but power to weight ratio, I think, give you just as big a smile, and on some levels be more fun to ride because it's more rideable. It's not as scary. It's not gonna give you that white knuckle. It's not gonna send you over the handlebars, high side you. And if I roll on here, the front got really light there on pull-off, so yes, anti-wheelie control is needed on a bike like this. That was fun. This is a proper enthusiast's bike. Just fantastic. I don't think the props will like it much, but I'm loving this bike. This has everything. There was a gear change, you don't even know a gear change. Just fantastic. Love it. Nothing wrong with this bike power to weight ratio, absolutely nothing. The handling is just sublime, really. The handling, the weight distribution, the low center of gravity, what a package all round. Ticks all the right boxes. Nothing short of fantastic. That quick shifter, what a machine. I could do a whole lot more riding with this bike. There is no fatigue. Just so much fun. It's sublime, really. Everything works in harmony. The brakes are strong, yet good feel and just very little input. Two-finger braking is perfect. The clutch, if you do choose to use the clutch, is so soft, light. The quick shifter, you hardly notice. You can't rest your foot on that gear lever because it's just gentle. It effortlessly, seamlessly clips in like a sequential gearbox. It's just, can't believe how refined this bike is. And just when you think it is a smaller bike, smaller capacity, it won't stand up to what we're used to with these big super bikes. It's just as much fun. You actually feel like you have to work a little bit more and you're busier on the bike, but that's the fun part. It's just great. The sound is great. The feedback from the motor, if you look at these rear view mirrors, there's no shaking on them, no movement. Look at the clocks, stable, nothing shaking or vibrating on this bike. That's just testimony to the build quality. This bike is solid. There's nothing rattling. This is just everything the title says. Game changer. Have a look at that sight. Oh, we need a bit of peace and quiet. Oh, after all this excitement, we need to get our adrenaline levels down. Oh, forget that. Let's get back to it. There we go. Look at this. Oh! I don't think there's anything wrong with this bike. Magnificent piece, but unfortunately we have to bring her back. All good things come to an end, but fortunately I know where I am situated Aprilia. Those friendly guys, they really open their doors, such knowledgeable guys, and give us every opportunity to test ride their magnificent bikes. Thank you for watching this episode. I really hope you enjoyed the ride review of this bike. Please remember to click like, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to help us build this channel, and to follow us for more.